In 1980, we saw the need strongly for the Parkinson's patients and their families because what they would get was a diagnosis and then not much. Most of them didn't know anybody else with Parkinson's, and the caregivers felt very alone too. So in the clinical setting, we found that the patients and the caregivers were having their medical needs met, but their emotional and their psychosocial were not. And so we developed an 8-week program to really address many of these things. For 8 weeks, we did 2 sessions a night. They were so overwhelmed with themselves that there were so many. It was a real coming out for them, and it was a real you're not alone phenomenon, because they just felt like there was a community and they were getting acquainted and they liked each other. So by the 8th week, we knew that something had really happened and the catalyst had caused this community to come together and want to grow. And so we got a bunch of people together after the 8-week session and said, okay, let's plan to put together an organization. And it grew.
I was diagnosed with Parkinson's 8 years ago, and as it's progressed, I've been looking for ways of keeping myself fit. So I've found an exercise program that has worked very well, and it's helped me with my balance, plus associating with other people that have Parkinson's and getting a better understanding of what needs to be done. And PRO really has introduced me to these programs, and I'm very thankful for that. What it means to going to these classes is it keeps me active with the different exercises, with the boxing, the jump rope, and so forth. It has helped my balance tremendously. When I started jumping rope, I was lucky to get 15 or 20 of them before the rope would hit my foot. Last week I did 125 jumps without a mistake. I love the programs that are offered at PRO. And because of that, it's going to be able to meet my needs for many years to come. And as those activities come, it's going to help me face those in my future years.
I started out with being diagnosed at 49 years old, went to a local hospital, saw a neurologist, and was told about PRO. And I was excited to know that that was there on one hand, but also resistant. I was young, you know, and still feeling pretty, I guess, unable to face it. And my husband chose instead to take the torch. He heard that there was a walk they were doing, Soul Support for Parkinson's, and he signed us up. He became our team captain, and then he informed me we are going to walk. I was afraid. I was afraid to face Parkinson's in a bigger community since I was still grappling with it myself. And when I showed up, you know, it was a wonderful embrace, joy, and I found the more I started talking to people, the more I wasn't afraid, the more I was really inspired and engaged. And now I'm like, get me off the bench, put me in, you know, I'm jumping full force in. One thing I love about everyone I've met is they are not giving up, they're not giving in. You know, they're growing with this condition. They show me a sign of hope, you know, that 12 years, that's what that looks like. Okay, I can do this. You know, 20 years from now, really, you're doing 100 jumps with the jump rope? Okay, I can do this. And it gives me that hope that I need, being young, that I can conquer this. I was told a long time ago, bloom where you're planted. And I feel like I found the right place to bloom. By being part of PRO and this community, I'm going to grow in my journey forward with Parkinson's, but also as part of a huge community, you know, to help others too. And it makes me feel great.